Sound him. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Mullet Arena here in Tempe, Arizona. Right now, your Arizona State Sun Devils are taking on the U of A Wildcats in an in-state rivalry, of course, between Arizona State and University of Arizona. It's going to be a tough matchup for Arizona State. They're coming into their very first game of the season. However, U of A themselves are only in their fifth game of the season, which seems like a lot more, of course, than no games at all. But U of A is only in their second season of competition since coming back in the 2024 season. And honestly, they're doing very, very well. Their only loss, we believe, coming against Grand Canyon University. Other than that, they are faring and they are putting up some big time performances. Arizona State, however, they're coming into a big time season where they're going to look to their seniors. That's the difference between these two squads. Is U of A is heavy on the freshmen. And keep in mind, this is a very, very different sort of broadcast. We're supposed to be live with Blaze Radio. This broadcast should only be about a period. We'll see how soon we get that equipment back. But we're going to send you down to the ice as we're going to get our rink announcements. We should. However, we're still waiting on U of A to take the ice themselves. We'll send you down. Not exactly sure what the confusion is right now. Oh, and now Bohemian Rhapsody gets blasting again from the audio. And now U of A taking the ice, as you can see at the very bottom of your screen. Arizona State in their white uniforms, dark pants. However, the away team, the Wildcats, in their blue jerseys, red pants, blue socks. A lovely look for both sides. And now it looks like we're finally going to get things going. But not sure you can hear the rink audio, so we're just going to fill you in on what they're saying down low here at Mullet Arena. We're going to start things off with the U of A lineup. On defense, Elena Glover, a senior, standing 5'5", following suit on defense is number 48, Rylan Pesca, and then the forwards come out. You know, the good old thing about Arizona State is they're giving their broadcasters the lines today. But on the other side, no such luck. Kenzie Carson, one of the forwards standing there on the left side of the line on your screen. Also number 9 and number 12, Brittany Bridle and Lila Schultz. Again, Schultz, one of those many freshmen that we're talking about here on this squad. So remember, we're live now, but we should be going live with Blaze at some point later on. We had a bit of an equipment issue, so we're live here on my YouTube Live. I'm going to be live with Connor Cruz. But now here comes the starting line for Arizona State University. It's actually not the same, yes, it is the same starting five as they announced on their lineup. We get the goal horn buzzing now. The forward's going to be Paige Ring, Sam Murphy, the alternate captain, and Kylie Brown. So junior, graduate student, and sophomore there as the first line. And then the two sophomores out on defense going to be Mara Draper and Kate Street. Now the goaltender, who has just done absolutely phenomenal in these past seasons. That's Quinn Eatinger, the alternate captain. Typically, you're not going to see an A on the alternate, or excuse me, you're not going to see the A of an alternate captain on a goaltender, but that's just how much she means to this team. Now we're going to step aside for just a second as we get the national anthem going. Well, as we said, it wasn't the way we were supposed to be broadcasting this one, but we're set to have some good old ice hockey coming your way here from Tempe, Arizona. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call with you. And just yesterday, Arizona State's Division One men's team, not club, their actual Division One team, it was broadcast here locally on Fox. You saw ASU won back-to-back games against Notre Dame and Alaska Fairbanks to just take the icebreaker tournament just last night. And it was a great game. A bit of a nail-biter there at the end as Alaska Fairbanks just would not go away. But ASU was able to tack on some final goals, especially the empty net set the dagger right in, and they were able to take the tournament. First time going live here on my own personal YouTube channel. Hopefully this is turning out all right. We're going live from the phone camera, so we might be making some adjustments as we go along. We're trying to get the entirety of Mullet Arena, but I believe that little corner to the right, or excuse me, to the left just might be cut off a little bit. But puck is dropped. We are underway here from Mullet Arena, the only game for ASU's women's club hockey team to be played here at the Mullet Arena. Not an entirely packed crowd, but a good crowd. Of course, we're not expecting the same sort of attendance between the NCAA squad and the club squads. Had a couple of club games before this one. Here, a shot taken from the point. It's blocked. The shot coming from the sophomore defenseman, Kate Strick. U of A unable to control it with much authority as they come into the opposite side. ASU back with it, but they immediately turn it over here in the neutral zone. Currently, the Wildcats sitting at 3-1. They had some dominant performances, especially against Wyoming when they won 10-3. That was your final. Here, a shot from out wide, and here in the slot picked up by the defense. The women in white able to send it all the way down the length of the ice. Icing going to be waved off. They say it hit off of a Wildcat. They're in the neutral zone. Here it's picked up number 15, Brianne Powell. Powell trying to send it back over for Bavini. And now back to the slot. On that pass, trying to find Powell once again, but it's sent down the length of the ice. U of A going to go off for a couple of changes. And ASU back on the rush here on the left wing. The near side wing. This shot trying to find through the traffic. Goes back to Davini, the junior forward, skating it up the right side. Gonna drop it off into the far side corner of the U of A zone. Here, looking for a shot from the point through the traffic. It'll just go wide to the right side. Oh, and there you go. Down goes our camera for the very first time of the afternoon. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Not exactly the way we thought we'd be commentating this one, but I'm hopefully going to be able to deliver with the odd circumstances. So here, U of A, again, in the red helmets, red accents on the blue uniforms. Here it lies. Back onto the stick of ASU. U of A just unable to control it to this point. Battle along the point. Who will take over possession, trying to outreach the stick that time. That was a near side devil, but it'll go awry. Skating it out through the neutral zone, past the red line of center ice. Now here, unable to find her footing, was number 4, Lucy Verderber, another one of those freshmen. Again, you're going to be hearing a lot of freshmen. And this one going to be played with eyes. Still with ASU touches up, and indeed they do. It was hit up through the air by the graduate student, Sam Murphy. And as it was batted down, she touched it up, and the play is blown dead. So we go to the far side of the ice. Again, our apologies for the camera setup. It's not going to be easy to see it there on the opposite side of Mullet Arena. But here, right off the draw, ASU might have a rush the other way. And here comes number 5 skating it in, and a shoulder save. Looking for the rebound chance. That time it was with number 5, Kylie Brown, on the first line here for ASU this afternoon, trying to get another opportunity, but this one batted away. And U of A on the rush the other way. Good work by Leah Schultz, another first liner, that time for the Wildcats. They're along the far side, ASU going to pick it up. They'll take it past the blue line, bank it off the boards, and it'll be a dump and chase as ASU's going to get some changes, get some fresh legs out there. 16:30 left to go here in this first period of action. This one's sent down the length of the ice. This one should be an icing on the Wildcats. And indeed, we'll get the hand raised, the whistle, and the icing call. Face off to be back here over on the favorable side of the ice. So yeah, your goaltender today as well, one of those freshmen, Olivia Sorley, already getting faced with a couple of shots herself. And this face-off one back to the center of the blue line, looking for the shot, won't take one. Dropped off here to Kuntz. Kuntz back up to the point, but here losing it is Zandy and U of A trying to take it to the opposite side, but they just cannot set things up just yet. And as a result, U of A forced to retreat back. Immediately turned over from the stick of Pesca. U of A struggling to get through the line, but now they will, and here comes the shot. Trying to go through the 5-hole that time. It was Brienne Powell, the junior forward, unable to sneak it through. Another save that time by Sorley. Standing 5'8". Again, one of the taller players for this team. Of course, you do have people like Brittany Bridle, who is 5'10", but the difference is she's an upperclassman. Here, covered up on the opposite side by your goaltender of the day, Quinn Eatinger for Arizona State. 15:27 left to go in this first period of action. No goals sneaking through just yet here at the Mullet Arena. Again, a lot of stuff going on here at the Mullet Arena, a lot of action. We saw some men's club games, D2 and D3, I believe, taking place right before this one. This one wrapped around at far side boards. U of A just trying to clear, and they've done so effectively to this point. However, U of A, though they're not exactly able to maintain puck control, they're able to keep it in the zone to this point. Here, 2 Sun Devils collide in that near side corner. You're trying to wrap around chance. Won't sneak through. Eatinger hugging onto that right post. Her right post, our left post, and making the save. This one off the far side boards. ASU just able to sneak it through. This could be a rush if they hurry. And no open lane for a shot. Here's Brian looking for a wraparound chance of her own. ASU going to try to keep control. Wrapped around right behind, into the trapezoid behind Sorley and up to the point. Here it comes with ASU once again. ASU playing just a more physical battle. That seemed like they just have more footing. Here tripped up is number 17, Kelsey Olsen, but just unable to draw the call from the men in stripes. And here a centered pass into the slot. We're back on the U of A side of the ice. And trying to sneak something through, or I suppose dump it into that corner to the left side of the ASU zone. It looks like we have a delayed penalty call. We'll see who they nab this time. It looks like it'll be ASU going to the box for hooking. And they're going to nab number 17, Kelsey Olson, who tried to get that penalty call earlier on in that shift, but she's actually the one to get called on. And now here we might have an opportunity. Trying with a burst of speed to put it on net. Unable to find it. That time it was number 8, Kylie Label. ASU trying to find an opportunity on the short hand. There you can see the scrum near side. The Wildcats taking it away. But again, ASU going to be able to keep it inside at the blue line. It was, however, only number 7, Hannah Coons, to try to make a play happen. So U of A taking up the opposite side. But I believe that should be offsides. Indeed it is. U of A unable to exactly find their strides early in this one. 1:26 left to go in Olsen's penalty time. Here, U of A with a tie-up off the draw. They're going to take this one back. Cross-ice feeds back and forth from the 2 defensemen. And eventually trying to move it forward is number 94, Savannah Allen, another freshman of the Wildcats squad. Here behind the net, trying to clear it out on a wraparound chance around the boards. Here's the shot. Will it get on through? No, it will not. It's picked up in the slot by the Sun Devils. And here they come our way, trying to toe drag opportunity, trying to get a shot off the backhand. Number 15, Grant Powell, just unable to sneak anything through. The defense showing up strong that time around. Now here's the other number 17. This one on the ice. Of course, ASU's number 17 still in the box for the next 44 seconds. However, Anna Jeffs, guess what? Another freshman, probably the biggest freshman that there is, standing 5'11". U of A trying to maintain puck control. Here a collision up at the point. U of A going to try to take the opportunity and put something on net, and they will, but the save is made by Quinn Eatinger. A lot of traffic right out in front of her, but she's able to make the save through the slot and keep this game square at 0-0. Just over 12 minutes to go here in the first period of action. That one went on net to Sorley. This one given up once again. U of A struggling to keep the puck on their sticks. But ASU, on the other hand, just able to find their footing. However, this pass will not connect, and Sorley going to bat this one into the near side corner. Still getting to it first is Label, the sophomore on defense, playing a little aggressive here, trying to get the puck back and just keeping it in here at the point. You know, the frustrating thing about being set up here on this side is you can't exactly see the numbers of the players that are coming at you. So excuse me if I'm a little delayed on trying to get you the ASU identities. But for the second period, it's going to be the same way for U of A. Third period, the same story for ASU. They're going to switch each period. Here a shot, trying to take it in from the left side face-off dot. That time the shot coming from Ring. First line forwards are out. And mind you, ASU back to full strength. Here a shot from right outside the near side face-off circle. That shot coming from Kylie Brown, but a glove snag from Sorley. And we are still tied at 0-0. 11:09 left to go here in this first period. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call with you here. We'll see how quickly we're going to be able to get things back to Blaze Radio. If we do, we'll see how it works between me and Connor Kuntz. And here U of A. I think that puck took an awkward bounce off the boards, but somehow they're going to be able to find themselves on a 2-on-1 advantage if they hurry, trying to pass it back into the slot. Save made by Eatinger as she's able to keep it on her right pad. And U of A trying to find another opportunity. They'll bank it off the far side boards, trying to find a centering feed. Indeed, they do. This one just sneaks on through the traffic, but it'll go wide. Eatinger doesn't know where it is, but ASU will maintain control and skate it through. Here, a dump on net, and number 22 winning a penalty here for ASU. That's Paige Bryan as she was tangled up here, and that's going to be a cross-check 100%. And so delayed penalty call on U of A. Here comes the shot, glove snag, trying to stuff it on through. The play blown dead, however. A lot of physicality out in front. The penalty going to be assessed, no doubt, to Sophie Thompson, who threw in an extra little oomph right out in front of the net on the Sun Devils, number 22, Paige Bryan, who was set up right out in front of the blue paint. So there you go. We're going to be seeing our first moments of ASU power play here on their new season. We'll see if ASU can cash in. U of A has already had their opportunity in which they weren't really able to get anything set up too much. But here with Sophie Thompson, guess what? A freshman in the box, 4-2. On the cross-check, we'll see what the Sun Devils can do to try to break this deadlock. Here to the far side, working in. Here comes the shot, and again, Sorley flashes leather, makes the glove save with the left arm. Only a couple seconds off the clock, still a minute 48 to go. We're in penalty time, still just about 5 minutes left to go in this first period of play. Face off one into the corner, somehow controlled by Cameron Davini. We get it up to the point. Now here it goes with number 5, Kylie Brown. A lot of first liners out there here with the 5 women out. And this shot somehow sneaks through the traffic. Original save is made. Rebound was given up, but Sorley handles. So Eatinger, not a whole lot of shots that came her way on the opposite side of the ice. Again, you're going to get a closer look at her saves in this second period if we are to keep broadcasting here on the YouTube channel. If not, we're going to move back over the Blaze, and I'll split the time with Connor Coombs. And here, U of A wanting a penalty for the contact here at the point. They're not going to get it. Here comes number 12 for U of A on the opportunity on the shorthanded chance. Not really much of a shot. It's handled by Eatinger, and the play blown dead. Lila Schultz trying to get something going on the shorthanded opportunity. 4:21 left to go in this first period of action. Still in the box for about another 70 to 75 seconds. Can't exactly see the penalty clock here, but the way we're positioned, have a speaker in the way of the time. But Sophie Thompson still in the box for that cross-checking minor. And here comes ASU, still on man advantage. They're taking things patiently. This pass not going to connect exactly clean. But Kate Streak now working to the slot. She'll tap this one off. This shot goes right off the blocker. Still loose out in front. Trying to get another opportunity. Here is Powell. Powell with another shot. But this one blocked by a Wildcat in the lane. And this one just going to be kept inside of the blue line. Here in the near side point. It'll be dropped off once again to Powell. Powell looking for an opportunity. She'll go cross ice. Streak. Streak off the boards. She'll skate it back over to Powell. Powell with a slap shot and a blocker save made by Sorley. But ASU continues to pressure. Can they keep it in at the blue line? Just barely on the blue line. Oh, but now they rule it as offsides. It'll go on Mara Draper, the sophomore, who will now head off for a change. Great opportunities for both sides, it feels like. Of course, ASU has had perhaps maybe the more quality chances, but still, it has been a tough matchup between both sides. Surprised there are no goals popped in just yet. 0-0 your score. And excuse me, I was very much incorrect. Still plenty of time left in this first period. Again, I can't exactly see the clock to the best of my ability, but here ASU in control of it with Brown. Brown up to the top at the blue line here, trying to circle around and do a little spin move on the shot is Bromeyer. And so now we are back to even strength. We did just get our equipment back for the second period, so we're probably going to finish up this first period and then get to you out with Blaze Radio. Here, shot blocked out at the blue line. Not exactly sure why play was blown dead. Oh, and down goes the camera once more. But it has been a great matchup to this point. ASU, however, it really does feel like they should have had maybe a couple of days to this point. However, again, first game for ASU, it is very clear that their passes just aren't what they will be later on in the season. Here they're skating it on through, dropping it back off to the point here, slap shot. And now an opportunity off the backboard, trying to get a rebound chance off the backboard, and another opportunity right out in front, that time for Olsen. And now it's Olsen who will get it back in that far side corner. Again, maybe not exactly able to see that far side corner. Our apologies with just the way the camera is needing to rest. And this one's sent down the length of the ice by the Wildcats. This one should get an icing call, and indeed it will, as ASU is going to take a face-off in their offensive zone. The Wildcats, well, you got to say their defense has done very solid throughout this first period of action. Face off to the near side dot. And conversation taking place between the linesmen over on the U of A boards. And it looks like we're getting a change. Maybe there was an illegal change for U of A, so they put someone back out. And now here, ASU looking for another shot off the backhand. Couldn't really sneak it through. That time Sam Murphy was looking for it. And U of A sends it down the length of the ice. This time icing will be waved off as it got a bit of a Sun Devil on its way down. Just about 7 minutes to go here in this first period of play. Up on the left wing, centering it. Here's a breakaway chance. Save made by Sorley. It's still loose and back out to the point it will go. And, open ice hit that time. But number 85, Kenzie Carson, will take it away, send it down the length of the ice, and this one going to be an icing once more on the Wildcats. Man, oh man, best opportunity of the afternoon so far. Again, I'm not entirely sure who it was that got that shot off, because you just can't exactly see the numbers to the best of your ability on this attacking side. Here on the face-off is going to be Powell. Powell gives it over to the wingers. This one just sneaking through the traffic. Another opportunity out in front for Powell. But again, covering up is that freshman goaltender, Olivia Sorley, out of Jamestown, North Dakota. Doing well so far, and what I can imagine would be one of her first starts here at the collegiate level. Whether or not it's club hockey, it's still impressive from Sorley. Here's a shot from the point. Didn't get elevation on it, so it was an easy pad save that time for Sorley. Here to the point. Now back out here for Davini. Davini sends it over number 8, Laybolt, but this one turned over here in the slot. U of A on a 2-on-2 rush, but getting back on the back check to make it more to the advantage of ASU was Davini. And now ASU going to try to make something happen on their own accord. Here to the slot, trying to get it back is Laybolt. But back out to the neutral zone as a couple of sticks collide, and U of A able to make something do. Here splitting, 2 forward, trying to get a shot off, and here it comes right at the crest of the University of Arizona jerseys, and Sorley still perfect there in the crease. In the blue page, he has done phenomenal. 5:50 left to go here in the first period, 0-0. Still remains your score, though. By golly, it does not feel like it should be scoreless. Still, this one sent to the point. Here comes a harsh shot, but it's blocked that time by number 23 of the women in blue. That's Waxenberg. And Waxenberg going to take the opportunity, trying to clear it off the glass. ASU still keeping it in. How about this time? Indeed, it will just sneak into the neutral zone. ASU touches up to avoid the offsides. They'll send it in. Just unable to pick it up, however. That time was number 27, Burlmeyer, the sophomore forward. Unable to really get the drive going into the U of A zone. And so as a result, U of A going to try to get something going their own way. U of A just unable to keep the puck moving in their favorable direction. ASU feels like they should have been able to capitalize, but again, for them, they just haven't been able to really get passes going as well. And Sorley has done just fine at handling whatever shots have come her way. Eatinger, on the other hand, The ASU goaltender has not exactly had a whole lot of shots to face. And so here, battle in the neutral zone. ASU has control. Cross ice feed, defenseman to defenseman. Now up to the center. And now here, tripped up in the neutral zone. We're going to get the call as U of A is going to touch up with about 4:25 left to go in this first period. ASU goes back on the power play. It was a light trip, but they are going to nab number 12 of the U of A squad. That's Layla Schultz, the freshman standing at 5'5", the first liner. So that's going to be a tough one to lose. Not a whole lot of time left to go in this first period, but enough to get the full power play going here in the first period. This one sent down the length of the ice immediately by the Wildcats, and the Wildcats already positioning themselves here in the neutral zone, getting set for a Sun Devil rush. But this pass goes awry. U of A takes the opportunity, kills some more clock as they send it deep into the Devil zone once again. Here to the near side boards, it's ASU. And now here a rush over into the slot. Here, a great opportunity on the shot. She'll pop it into the top right corner, and the Sun Devils strike first. Only about half a minute into their penalty time. It's going to be number 5, Kylie Brown, to get the first goal of the season for the ASU Sun Devils. 1-0 goes your score. Able to quickly capitalize off of the penalty of Layla Schultz. And here a tie-up off the draw. Throwing down the center that time. Haven't seen that much. Sam Murphy was dragged down right off the draw. But either way, ASU trying to go back on the attack. They're up 1-0 in a game that really does seem heavily favored to themselves. Here, a pass into the slot, trying to find Murphy, who's coming back from the trapezoid behind Sorley to try and make a shot happen, but just out of reach. So, U of A now. For them, it's time to respond. But not a whole lot of momentum to get it done with here in the final minutes of the first period. Here it's handled by Streak. Streak to her defenseman, that's Draper. And now ASU feels like they're just playing a little bit of keep away at the current time being. Eventually we're going to get this moving, you would imagine. But U of A has them locked up. So at the point, it's handled. That time by Bridle. Bridle has it back once again, tries a weak shot, hits off of the skate of a Sun Devil out and into traffic, but it'll go awry. And that just hit at a different angle. That could have snuck on through and maybe even on net and past Eatinger. Luckily for the Devils, didn't happen. But the Wildcats would really love just a lucky bounce like that to get this back into a tied game. This time, Schultz, the one who had the penalty on the power play goal for the Sun Devils. Schultz now, you can imagine she specifically wants to get something going for this U of A squad. You can never not feel guilty whenever a power play goal gets scored against your squad when you're sitting in the penalty box. It's just how the sport goes. It's a terrible feeling. Less than 2 minutes to go. The Sun Devils up 1 in what has been a very even first period, but at the same time, really not. Sun Devils have had all the momentum, all the real quality chances, but we've also had some great looks as a result on defense for U of A and some phenomenal effort we're already seeing out of Olivia Sorley, the freshman, in the blue crease of the Wildcats. Off the draw, Sun Devils try to clear it away, just out of the reach of the center, trying to make a rush forward. That was Paige Bryan on the rush, but on the pitchfork logo at center ice, it was just out of reach of the outstretched stick. Now here, a pass right into the slot here. Rebound chance. Falling forward onto the puck is Eatinger. She will make the save and get that whistle. Now about 80 seconds, I believe, left to go here in this first period. If I'm incorrect, I will correct myself. Again, our apologies. Just cannot see the clock well enough from where I'm positioned. 1-0 your score. Sun Devils are leading here at their home rink. Again, this is the only time they're set to play here at the Mullet Arena. And they're banking it off the boards to her teammate. Here come the Sun Devils once again looking for a late moment strike here in the first period. Here comes a shot. It's off of the state of a Wildcat in front. Here another opportunity in this one, batted away by the goaltender, Olivia Sorley. And here, rough check from behind that time on Christoph. The sophomore on defense, however, right back up to her feet. But here, Christoph, unfortunately for her, unable to keep puck possession. U of A will take the chance and dump it down. They'll get some changes of their own. Probably the last change of the period. Here comes Schultz. Schultz getting a lot of ice time here in this first period. Oh, bumped off the play. Good little check that time in the right side face-off dot of Eatinger's side of the ice. The Sun Devils, however, going to hang on to this one. They might just try to kill. And indeed, that seems to be what they're going to try to do. U of A, however, on the backhand shot, can they get anything going? No, tangled up and thrown down in the slot. And ASU just going to send this one down into the neutral zone, clearing it away. And this one is going to be a 1-0 score as we go into our first intermission. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call again. I've never gone on YouTube Live in this way on my own personal channel. Again, I would actually like to shout out all the parents of my high school back home of that hockey team. They were able to build up enough subscribers to my channel just so that in case something like this were to happen, I'm able to go on the YouTube Live. So shout out to all the Shaker Heights High School hockey parents back home for allowing this to happen. But thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum with you here for the first period. We'll keep you updated on how we're going to do this second period. We should probably be going to Blaze Radio. Everybody. So the way this is, tried to switch it over to me. So the way this is going to go is we're going to send the broadcast over to Blaze Radio. I believe we just agreed. I'll be taking the third period on play-by-play. I'll handle the color for the second period, and we will see you over there. So thank you very much for tuning in. Again, not the way we thought this would be happening. It was just a bit of an issue with the good old equipment box right here, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And so, Vaughn Ullum with you here from Mullet Arena. Hopefully, I'll see you tuning in over on Blaze Radio. Thank you very much.